now. Okay, next question. Okay.
A lot of questions. My goodness, you guys care about the game. It's nice.
Oh, how about linking your Facebook picture as an avatar?
Okay, so there are privacy issues with this, and it's unfortunate. It just takes a number of people who want to put something disgusting, and we have issues. That's the big problem with pictures. It's so easy to abuse it in a very disgusting way. Sorry,
well, this is actually the Facebook pic, your actual Facebook profile pic, right? So with that Facebook, yeah. So that wouldn't really be, it wouldn't be like you can just upload any picture.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
We could, I suppose we could always have it as an option, right? Where somebody doesn't like any of our avatars, they can just use their. And then on the other hand, there is a privacy issue. Some people want to be anonymous, so they would have to make the choice not to make their Facebook pic visible. But it's something that I think we should consider.
Yeah, definitely. And like I said, sorry guys, we're always answering the question with simply, please put it on the user voice. But that's the way it is. I mean, I know you guys, it's important to you. But at the end, we try to focus on things which have the biggest bang for the buck, if I can say that, right? The ones that most people have asked for. It all takes time. We can't do too many things simultaneously, unfortunately. All right, I don't know if we want to, with all these questions about can we do this, can we do that, I don't know if there's a point. We're not going to go through them all, right? What's the most important ones? Let me take a few hands. Isaac, you had your hand up for a while, I see. You still want to say something? If you do, just raise your hand, please. And I'm going to let, while you do this, Mark, I'll let Robert Weber say something. He's had his hand up. Hello, Robert. You're on. Go ahead.
It's Webb, by the way.
Oh, sorry.
Would there be any way to make like an in-game suggestions engine instead of using user voice or the forum? Because the problem I see with these is so few people want to use them or even know about them.
Right. That's a tricky one. Thank you, Robert. I'll put you back on mute. It's a tricky one because do we spend time now building a system like user voice, or do we use one that's created? The user voice has a way of logging in through Facebook, so it is trivial really to use. You already are on Facebook, you already are logged into the game under Facebook. It's just one thing. It's a reputable company, so it's nothing to worry about. It's hard to justify us building an in-game system when there's something like this basically pretty much for free for us. So, and it's much more robust than we could possibly ever implement. So that's the thing. It's hard to justify the time. Again, if would it be wrong to say create a user voice suggestion so that we don't use our voice? Sorry, it's silly. I'm just joking, but I don't know how to suggest otherwise. It seems to us the best option at the moment. Okay, Mark, you still looking at the questions? Because I have
yep.
Steve. 1 second. Okay, so Steve, go ahead. You're on.
Hello there. Sorry, I didn't hear you say my name. Apologies. Realm 2. Just a quick question about Realm 2, if I may. Okay. There's a lot of people still in the realm that I speak to on a daily basis, and really what we're looking for, the majority of people, is a definitive end date for Realm 2. I wondered if you could do a poll, perhaps 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, see what the results are.
Sure, thank you. Okay, so you probably arrived later and you didn't hear this. We came up with a method for suggesting end of game or end of realm dates or even speed ups. Create or get a moderator to create a poll on the realm specific forum, on our forum. Get a poll and get 75% people saying that they want the realm closed, with at least 20% of players voting. If that, we'll consider that to be a petition that enough people care. If 20%, just 20% of people will go to the trouble of voting on the forum, then we'll create a poll right in game, and we'll ask all Realm 2 players, what do you want to do? We in general, will not close a realm until we get vast majority of people wanting to do so. At least, I think 75. It sounds like a good number. Then we can consider closing it. Otherwise, if 51% of people want to close, then the realm was always meant to be open indefinitely. So we're changing rules. We don't like to do that. We might bring realms which do have a definitive end date, so you know that ahead of time. But for the existing realms, we would like you to create a poll to see if other people are for it. I hope that's a good answer. I hope that's a good method. It seems that way to me. Mark, do we ready with more questions?
Yep, I have more questions here. So I have
you know what, Isaac, he had his hand up.
Yep,
before,
and this was
so
actually one of Isaac's questions about gifts, but I can let Isaac actually ask that. He has his hand up, so maybe you can just...
Isaac, you're online.
Okay,
Go ahead.
I don't really care about the gifts. That was just something that came up when it was asked before. What I'm more interested in is the realm X's. Are you planning on doing any more of the ones that are short, that go like 6, 12, 24, or 48 hours? Because I remember those were really popular, and the ones that you're doing now that go for like a few months are a lot more of a time investment to play.
Yeah. We thought about that. We might want to create more than just a couple of realm X's. We plan to, once the realm X closes, we plan to open that to discussion and really get an idea of what you guys want, and we'll implement what you guys want. I personally like them too. Maybe we should have a revolving realm that happens every weekend, or on different days of the week, and runs for a few 24, 48 hours, 12 hours kind of thing. It's I personally think it's a good idea.
Thank you.
Yeah, so one of the concerns with the tournament realms is that there is a little bit of overhead of getting them started and shutting them down, as well as just making sure that everything is running properly, because it's running at such a fast speed that sometimes issues pop up and we need to be able to jump on them really quickly. So that's one of the challenges, where having something like a revolving tournament realm every day might be a little bit ambitious, but certainly we could maybe before we re-release one of the new realm X's, have a few short 6-hour or 12-hour, 48-hour tournament realms.
Yeah, we could consider even having perhaps once a week kind of a realm like this. One day on Monday, one day on Tuesday, so that everybody gets a chance to play. Right? If Friday is not good for these people, we could definitely do that too.
Right.
Every day would be definitely pushing it, because there is a manual process for us. All right.
Okay.
What's
next question? Any chance of developing really short-term 10v10 realms, or something of the sort, with preset village numbers and squad-size numbers split in half? Quote-unquote grudge realms. So this would be
I think we should once we have the ability to create user-defined realms. I know I can't remember who made that comment that we're waiting for that since realm 3. I know what you mean, and I can say if you create a user voice and there's a large amount of people voting for it, that they would like this, then we could definitely push in priority. But we have a hard time justifying the time that it takes to develop it. We just don't know how much of an interest there is for this. But I think that's the best way, to allow you guys to create a realm, and whichever ways you want it. Otherwise, it would be hard for us to guess how exactly you want this particular realm. What's next?
Here's a question from Lisa. When a player goes gray, could all his troops return home, i.e. effectively stopping support stacking? This would be, I guess, the newly
abandoned player
villages.
Right. We again, it goes to one of those questions that it has a positive and a negative effect. The negative effect is that a particular method or a strategy that you currently have is taken away from you. That you can stock a village for your own purpose. Everybody has that ability to do excuse me. Everybody has the ability to do this. Therefore, everybody's equal. If we take it out, it has a positive and negative effect, and we're afraid to make those changes. Certainly until we can bring in some of the more asked for features in the game, then we would like to. Then we'll consider some of the gameplay changes.
Okay. Is there any thought given to making ROE accessible not through Facebook and as a smartphone application? So those are two questions.
Yes,
One is to be
right.
off of Facebook. The other is to actually be on a smartphone.
Right. We've almost had a chance to almost done it. We don't have expertise in house to make it happen. That's the bottom line, and it's not a trivial thing to do. So we almost got into partnership to do it. That sort of fell through, and we're looking for this. We firmly believe that making our own vampires playable, at least in some capacity, over smartphones is extremely important. But it's an extremely hard thing for us to do. So yes, we're working on it. I wish I could give you guys a deadline, a timeline for this. Sorry, but it's something that's high priority for us. What's next?
Okay. Actually, I got a question here. What is user voice? So maybe you can quickly give a quick synopsis of this in case anyone's listening and they don't know what user voice is.
Right. So when you enter Realm of Empires, you should see a little thing that's on the left side that says feedback. Click on it, and you can make suggestions and vote on suggestions. And to register for this service, it's just basically Facebook Connect. So click on Facebook Connect, and you're there. Again, reputable company. We've checked it out, so you don't have to worry about giving your information, your Facebook information, and they only take your login information the way we do, pretty much. I don't think they even take your email. All right.
Okay, another question here. Can we have a map feature that shows where a player is located, where their clusters are, with a way to hot click into each of those clusters? Which would, okay, so this is a little bit of a long question here. Robert actually is the one asking it. So with a lot of these things, like Greg said, features, changing the game, adding cool new functionality, we're definitely open to that. So it's just a matter of communicating to us, seeing if other players like it.
Yeah. Yeah. We we play as well, and we try to understand your suggestions as much as possible. And using user voice votes and our own understanding, we try to figure out what's most important to do. So that's the only way to do it. If you have a suggestion, make user voice, try to push for it, get other people to get on board with it, and then we look at it as important then.